got the 5 people. Here you go, Mama.
Okay.
All right, and then you just aim it at me. All right, so first of all, I'd like to apologize. I was just at the gym. I don't know if I look sweaty. I don't know. This is my persuasive speech about the maturity of children's animation. And I'm sure there's a movie or TV show that you may have watched when you were a kid that really stuck with you up until modern day. And a lot of the time when you are a kid, the stuff you watch is animation. Usually kids find the bright colors and the wacky situations a lot more entertaining, and so naturally animation from the beginning has been geared towards children. It began a lot different than it is today, but today it's a lot more personal, and there's a reason why a lot of people that are older and older are still tending to like it even though they are older. I mean, people go to the theaters and watch animated movies for children now, and it'll affect the parents just as much as the children. I remember, I don't know, Mama's cried during so many kids' movies. But despite the depth of children's animation, it's not respected by the companies who run it and the companies who create it nowadays. Kind of like a lot of television shows that just get canceled very quickly. And many should try and engage with children's animation instead of dismissing it due to not knowing the quality and importance of the stories told within. So, you may not realize just how much it has shaped the world today, children's animation. The first ever Disney movie, Snow White, like, Disney is such a large, gargantuan company today, and it all kind of began with this children's animated movie. And, let's continue. It became so sought for that animation went from being on the big screen in the theaters to people wanting it within their homes. Like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, it began with just simple shorts, and even Scooby-Doo. Those are all things that every generation today knows and usually has a positive opinion on. But today it's no longer just shorts. Today it's long-form series and long-form stories where the creators put pieces of their life into their work, and it's not just slapstick comedy, even though stuff like that still is respectable. There are many stories that I grew up with that changed who I am and how I interact with the world. As a kid, a lot of the things that influenced my opinion on the world were the shows I watched and the characters that I saw myself in. For example, Steven Universe, of course. I started watching it when I was about 10, and I remember when the show was ending, the final season wasn't about anything fantastical or magical specifically. It was about the main character who had grown up, and he had issues, he had mental issues from the stuff he experienced growing up because he was constantly in danger. And so I remember watching that last season with Mama, or my mom, and I watched a season of television about a teenage boy struggling with anxiety issues and how to explain them to his mother figures while being a teenage boy with anxiety issues who was struggling to explain it to his mother. And I'm sure there's a lot of other families and children with their parents who have watched children's animation and have grown closer because of it or had it really strongly relate to their lives. And another quick aspect is not just for children but for adults. Another show is Adventure Time. I'm sure whether you've watched it or not that you have heard of it. And there is a plot line about a character and her daughter, or a man and his daughter figure, and the man slowly starts to forget who she is. And we have to see her deal with that as she grows up, that her father figure no longer remembers who she is. And so now adults who may have parents or grandparents who no longer remember them have some sort of baseline and are able to interact with that part of themselves and come to terms with it. So, in conclusion, in today's world, animation isn't treated very well, and that's due to it being a hidden gem. Today, shows are canceled halfway through. There are shows that were given 5 seasons to go and then got canceled halfway through, and so they have to be rushed. It's underfunded. The people who work on it are overworked. You know, the people who work on these shows are working class people. They're not like big higher ups in Hollywood. Those are the ones that treat them badly. So just because a show is made for children doesn't mean it doesn't have the complexity or emotional maturity as adult media. And these shows are made by people who devote their lives to creating art and trying to make the world better through their personal stories. If you're ever looking for an opportunity to hear a good story with fleshed out characters and to help you come to terms with yourself, you can give children's animation a try.
Awesome.
Thank y'all.
Good job.